Hey guys, I'm Ryan Mack. Welcome back to Trading Guys. Today, there's honestly nothing that I'm looking to trade right now. I will cover the pairs later on in this video, but the purpose of this video is more to cover the kind of psychology side of trading, right? And I saw on one of the guys I follow on Instagram the other day, he put a really good post, and it says the hardest thing about trading is not trading. And honest to God, it's so true. You'll always hear the term sit on your hands, right? And it's really, really true. The hardest thing is to sit in front of the market and not trade when you don't see that your edge plays out, right? Of course, each day, if you're a scalp trader, you can pretty much find something each day scalping. I'm not interested in scalping. I fucking hate it. It's not my bag. But yeah, in terms of scalp trading, you can pretty much find something each day. But there are also times in scalp trades where there's just nothing there, right? One of my good friends, Raja Banks, many of you may know him. He's a phenomenal scalp trader, and he posted a video. I think it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, and he was like, "Every trade I've taken for the last 2 weeks has been a losing fucking trade." He said he's been trading for about 6, 7 years, and he even says he's like, "I've never had 2 weeks of losses ever." And it's just because markets are absolutely dog shit right now. I don't think you can see my Discord. No, because I've done it based on these windows here on Google, so that when you watch us on YouTube, you get better visual quality, right? If I do full screen, because I have one of these massive meter-long screens, one of these big curved ones, you don't really get good quality in the picture. So I've decided just to do it based on this and make it this smaller just now. Yeah, so today we're just going to cover that. What does it actually mean, sit on your hands and do nothing? Well, look, if you looked at oil yesterday, right, which we're always discussing with my guys, fundamentally, oil is sells for many reasons. I won't cover all that again because I've covered it in like the last 4 or 5 videos in a row. So if you want to understand why oil is sells, just look at my last video, right? But look, when you see this shooting up, right, I mean, that candle there is a beautiful candle to enter on. Yes, it is. However, you're really looking for sales. The only thing that makes it a buy is this whole Israel-Iran war thing. If Israel strikes Iran, oil will go, but you can't really. You need them to strike Iran first before you would enter buys, right? And you can't sell just now because it's not in an area of value to sell from. It needs to come up retest here, or better still, retest up here. And then melt for sales, right? That's really what you want to see. Now, when people are sitting in front of the computer and you see this move, you think, fuck, I need to get in, because you get hit with FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. But as I mentioned to the guys yesterday, guys, no matter how good oil looks right now with these candles flying, it's shit. All it's doing is moving back into this range. And look, that's all it's done. This is a range here. This is what you would call a no trade zone. You just would not trade within this zone, right? It's just a range. It's really shit. And although the market appears to be moving when you look at it, it's really not. All it's done is it's whipped down and it's just came back up and it's broke straight back into the range. You would not be trading this, right? The only time you'd really be entering buys is when it breaks this range and it then comes back down to retest this previous resistance, which then becomes a support, and then it carries on and it goes. That's the only time you'd really enter buys. You could have entered buys down here, but you'd be entering it on a higher risk, and you would be approaching this trade in a kind of mindset of being greedy, right? It's not a smart trade. It's a greedy trade. You'd be to say, right, I want to enter here because it's a really good price. I want to make as much money as possible, taking it from here, up to here, blah, blah, blah. It's not a safe trade. Is it tradable? Yes, you could have done that. But you just have to understand where entering the market from there would have came from. It wouldn't have came from being a good trade, being a solid, safe trade with high probabilities. It would have been a low probability trade, because you'd be entering a buy in a pair, in an asset that we actually want to be selling fundamentally, and you'd be entering it based on being greedy and not thinking of, is it actually a good trade, right? Because it's not a good trade. You'd have to wait for it to break above, retest, reject, and then go, that would be a good trade. because it's already shown you that it's got the momentum to break past the previous resistance, all right? And then it's going to push up to the next area of value to then take it back down. This is your next area of value up here, all right? Again, I won't cover why that's an area of value because I cover it in a lot of other videos, and I just want to make this a more of psychology, sit in your hands, don't be tempted to trade, blah, blah, blah. So many people have asked me before, like, how do you cope with that? How do you not fucking trade? You know, when the markets are so shit, which I will cover all the pairs, you know, towards the end of this, and I'll show you, you know, markets are really bad right now. How I get over trading, or essentially stop myself from over trading and entering trades which aren't there, and get tempted from, you know, entering FOMO trades, is I mark up my charts on areas of value based on fundamental data, based on what the banks are doing, based on what the world economies are doing, blah, blah, blah. I then look on the charts and I look for, technically, where am I going to enter the chart for a sell? So this is a great area for a sell. I won't explain why because I cover that in other videos. But yeah, we've now determined that this is a great area, you know, for a sell, right? Comes up from here, bish, bash, bosh. I'll just change the colour of that. We've now determined that this is a great area of value to sell from, right? So basically, how I stop myself from entering trades and over trading is I do not give a shit what the market does outside of this pattern here. Outside of breaking here, retest, rejecting, going, I do not give a shit about anything this market does until it does this. Now, what if it doesn't do that, right? What if it just gives you this big, massive straight push? That's fine. I don't bother trading it. I just ignore if it doesn't break above and give you the pullback and then go, right? Because that can happen. It might not do that. There's a high probability it will, but it also may not do that, right? So if the market just decides to just go nuts and absolutely fly from here and not give us a pullback, then I just don't trade it. It's as simple as that. I then at that point, I'm just, okay, well, I've missed my entry, didn't enter here. I'm just ignoring the trade. At that point, I'm ignoring the market. I don't give a shit what it does until it gets to this zone here and it shows me, it gives me the confirmation by, you know, the closing of a 4-hour candle, or even better, a daily candle to the downside. Then I'm going to enter and then I'm going to take it down. That's it. So, you know, just because we've kind of predicted it's going to do this and then we enter, which is fine, it may not do that. It may just run. And at that stage, I'm just ignoring it, right? That's how it works. What else can I do to help you with over trading? Yeah, people always think about how much they're going to make. It's a massive thing that many people do. And they'll place a trade and they'll go with this. Let me just see, is this the right pair? Can I show you that? Let me just go to the daily. Hold on. They'll come to a pair and they'll maybe mark up. Shit. They'll maybe mark up to here for their take profit, right? This green line up here. And they'll mark up and they'll be like, they'll put a take profit here and they'll work out how much money, you know, they're going to make. They'll be like, right, if I put my take profit here, I'm going to make $3,500, right? But the market might only come to here. The market might only come to here and then it absolutely melts. So you really need to look at your take profit areas as well. Also, don't create a lot size, right? Don't enter a lot size based on how much you're going to win. So don't come here and be like, you know, 0.10 lots, or that shit. If it comes from here all the way up to here, I've only made 150 quid, right? You don't want to be looking at a market like that. Because then you're going to say to yourself, well, if I enter at 0.10 and it goes all the way from here to here, I've only made 150 quid. That's shit. I want to make $2,000, you know? So instead of entering a really good trade at risk, you know, potentially making $150, you know, with a lot size of 0.10, what you'll do is you'll fucking over risk and you'll be like, fuck it, I'm just going to put 2 lots on here, you know, so that you then make $2,000 on that trade. Now, your trade might not fucking come here, right? It might just come up here and then it might start melting against you and then your loss is going to be massive. The way that you should be entering trades is not looking at how much you're going to win. It's actually about looking at your stop loss, right? Looking at your lot size, looking at your stop loss and be like, right, if my stop gets hit, I'm going to be down $150, right? That's fine. I'm happy to take that risk. You don't want to be, looking at your stop loss and be like, fuck me, I'm going to enter with 2 lots, but if my stop loss is hit, I'm going to be minus 2 grand. You know what? Many people don't look at it that way. They don't bother looking at, they'll do it, right? They'll enter it and they'll say to themselves, right, I'm going to be minus 2 grand here. And what they'll say is, yeah, fuck it, I won't let it get there. As soon as it starts melting, I'll just cut it early. I'm telling you right now, lads, you fucking won't cut it early. The only people that do that are people like Raja Banks who've really mastered the art of cutting trades early. You won't do it. I'm telling you right now, especially going through the learning phase. What will happen is the trades will start going against you, and you'll then have hope. You will hold on to that trade with the hope that it's going to then go in your favour, and it won't. Because you'll be like, oh my god, if I cut now, I'm minus 500 quid. That's a lot of money. And you're just going to hold on to it, thinking, yeah, it's not going to hit my stop loss. It's way below the previous lows. And it'll just absolutely, I'll guarantee you, the minute you think that way, guys, it will fucking melt. And instead of cutting your losses short at minus 500 quid, because you've over risked and blah, 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 you're going to end up getting stopped out at 2.5 grand. You're going to, at that point, be absolutely fucking spewing. And it's not just a monetary thing. You're then going to absolutely blow your confidence and then entering other trades. You're then going to jump back down from, 2 lots back down to what you should have been doing in the first place, the 0.10, 0.20, and blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to have the next 8 winning trades. The next 8 trades are going to be winning fucking trades, but they're not even going to cover the loss that you had from one over risk trade, And then what's going to happen is you're going to go into this horrible fucking cycle of, right, I've just had 8 winning trades in a row. I'm now back to being fucking top G. What I'm going to do is, instead of trading this shitty 0.10, which I should be trading for my account size, I'm just going to go back and trade, 1 lot or 1.5 lots because I'm the fucking top G now. I've had 8 winning trades in a row. I'll guarantee you, lads, it's going to be one of those Sod's Law things. The minute you over risk that trade again, and you jump back in at 1 lot or 1.5 or whatever it is, that one trade will be another fucking losing trade, and you will just be straight back in the hurt locker. So the 8 trades that you've just won using the correct risk are just going to be wiped out with over risking, and you're going to go into this vicious fucking cycle. You will then go back to what I just spoke about, about, right, fucking hell, that was too much to lose. I'm going to go back to doing my proper risk, 0.10, and you're going to go through this vicious fucking circle, guys. I'm telling you, everyone does it. And it's fucking horrible, right? So before I go on and cover more stuff, does anyone have any questions on that that you want to discuss? Are any of you going through this horrible fucking cycle at the moment? I'm happy to help you. I know it's pretty grim, but everyone goes through it, guys. Everyone goes through it, and from the guys that are doing well, if there's ever a stage that any of you guys DM me and you're like, mate, I'm not doing well in trading, blah blah blah, I can tell you right away what it is. You're either over trading or you're over risking. Like, you're looking at the market. Like, I'm dying to take a fucking trade right now, right? Trading is how I live my life. So I can honestly tell you, like, I don't have another job, right? I know I'm sponsored at YouTube and stuff, but that's like, I don't count that to pay my fucking bills and stuff, right? Trading is my number one job. So there's nobody that wants to take a fucking trade right now more than me, right? I'm dying to take a trade, but I also know there's nothing here to fucking trade, and that's why I'm just sitting back and ignoring it, right? But I have been in the vicious cycle of taking stuff that isn't there, because you always feel that you need to be in a trade. And like I always say in my videos, we're not here to trade, guys. We are here to make money, and trading and making money is not the same thing, because you could just be entering the market, taking fucking pot shots at everything that moves and just losing all your money, right? So that's pretty much it. If anyone of you guys are going through it, fire away with any questions you've got. Hold on, Anthony, I think I've muted you, mate. I will unmute you in case you have any questions. Yep, fire away. Oh, does he do it? Mate, we all do. We all do. It's an easy trap to fucking fall into. Like, I'll go through the markets right now and just show you. Look, I mean, look at that. When you zoom out, it gives you perspective. All I'm looking for from my method, right? I want to see this. This is a decent trade for me, but that might have been a news move, so I may have avoided it. I may have ignored it. And then what I'm waiting for is the market to pull away, come back, reject, enter, and away we go. That's all I want to see from the market. Technically, it's dead fucking easy. This is just a mess. You could say, look, that's it, but technically it's just a mess, and we can understand that from the fundamentals, right? Both Aussie and CAD are doing pretty shit right now. So I already know fundamentally, in my opinion, this is week against week. So I'm not going to bother trading it. So that's how I would know that even though I've marked this up and it's came back, retest, rejected, that's how I know that I'm still not entering that trade because it's a week against week. If it was, excuse me, if Aussie was really strong again right now and Canada was weak, I would definitely be entering that, based on both the fundamental aspect and the technical aspect. But look, it's just absolutely shit right now. And I now know that I'm not trading this unless this comes back down, retest this zone, and then goes. Or it's got to clearly break above. Wait, I'll just tidy this up. It's got to clearly break above here, come back and retest, and then go. So I now know that's the only time I'm taking a trade in this pair is if it comes down here, retests and rejects, or it breaks above here, retests and rejects and goes. That's it. Outside of that, I'm not touching this pair. So that's how that's how I'm able to look at the charts and be like, there's fucking nothing there that I would take. It's absolutely shit. I know it's annoying. Like if any of you guys are in my managed accounting, you're obviously excited, right? Because you want to be making money. But I like to be very open and transparent and share all these videos and share all the details in the PAM managed account group. But sometimes that can be to your detriment because then I'm making you guys aware of the fact that I'm not trading. And then it's like, oh man, there's no trades happening. And then you become restless, right? And like people just want to see trades being taken on their account, and it's not the way to do it. If you're in, if you have like a Royal London trading account and blah, 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 you don't see fuck all that they trade. I have a Royal London account. And you don't see anything that these guys are trading. You literally get one fucking letter every year to say your account is up, your account is down. See you next year. That's literally it. And sometimes I wonder, is that good or is it bad? But I like to be very open and transparent, and I like to show you. I'm not being a lazy fucker. There is just nothing to take right now. You can only trade when there's trades to take, right? And there just isn't at present. Oz is not doing so well. USD is potentially doing better. So I'd be looking, you'd potentially be thinking this is going to break past it. It could come here and go if you get bad news from USD. But overall, you'd potentially be looking for this to break down, come back up and boom. And especially because China's doing so bad, it means that AUD is get that extra weakness, right? And USD numbers are coming in quite strong. So the highest probability trade based on fundamentals is really this one when it breaks below here, comes back up for the retest, and then goes. That's your kind of highest probability trade. And again, look, you've got to wait for that. Remember, this is a daily time frame, so you've got to wait for ages for that to play out. Again, look, it's just a big range. This is just a big, massive range. You see it? You can trade ranges, but they're pretty boring. And then here you've got a range within a range. You see that? If I was to mark this up with 2 lines right now, it's just a range within a range. So nothing's happening there. EuroCAD, look, stinking. Another range, guys. It's a horrible, shitty little range. It's not even, it's not even a big range like this that you could potentially trade. You could do very well in. It's just a really horrible little shitty range. Look. It's stinking. So there's no trades here unless this breaks down below here, comes back up for the test reject, and there's no test for buys until it breaks above this, comes back for the retest, and then goes. That's what the trade is, Look at that, stinking. I don't even need to thing with that to show you. Look at that. That's absolutely rats, Euro Japanese yen. Yep, we all know about this. I'm just going to move that up because it's still in the zone. Same again, guys. You'd really be. You need to see this break above clearly, come back, retest, and go. That's your trade there. Just change that to green. Yeah, that's the thing for me. We all go through like psychological type decisions and emotions, right? And especially for me on the managed account, because I've always got in the back of my mind, God, I've got clients relying on me to make money, so I really have to rein myself in. I'm not only fighting my own personal psychology because I want to make my own personal money, right? I'm fighting the psychology of thinking, oh God, what are the clients thinking? Are they looking at their account thinking, fuck, this guy never trades, this is pointless? You've got all these things, but you have to ignore all that. Because clients probably aren't thinking that because they're used to investing, right? And they understand it's not a day by day thing. You need to keep your money in there for weeks, months, and years to see it growing, right? Well, not even weeks; it has to be in for months to really see it. But you can see multiple times where if you've watched the previous lives and videos, where when it hits these areas, it always pans out. You just need real good solid. What do you call it? You just need to wait for it to hit those areas. Sorry, what was that? Sorry. And this is just really shit. Look, it's just a big massive range right now. And then here you've got this really horrible little range within a range. You see it? It's stinking. You might look at that and think, oh, there's a good trade. It's honestly, it's not a good trade. This is exactly like oil, believe it or not. You know how where it ranged, then it broke the range, and now it's just coming back into the range. That's all oil's doing right now. Look, I'll just quickly jump down. Look, that's all oil's done. It's broke the. When I go to the 4 hour, you can see it clearer. All oil is done here is. Here you go. And here you go. I'm going to move that down, sorry. There we go. All it's done is it's created this range here. It's broke out of the range, and now it's back in the range. That's all it's done. So there's nothing there. GBP CHF. We've done quite well on that, but as I said, it's really just scraping the barrel to get these trades. It's actually, when we look on the daily, it's really turned out to be a really shit, messy trade. Look at this. I'll zoom in and show you. I mean, look at that on the daily. That's absolutely gopping, right? That's absolutely stinking. And yet we've still made money on it, But you really want to see clear setups like this, bang, and away it goes. It's honestly what you want to see. And you can, like I always say, you can see my setups a mile away. See when they come, you don't even need to think, God, is that the trade? Is it not? You can see my setups a mile away. And look at the duration we could have held this. Let's just go to the weekly, right, and see if we had entered here, right, how long could we have held that before seeing profits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back and drawdown, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 weeks we would have been holding that, guys, to see so many decent profit, It's mental. So even, like I was saying, even though just now there's a few weeks going past where I haven't taken trades, the opposite happens. See, when we have a really good season and loads of trades crop up, it's the same. We will be entering loads of trades and we're just going to let them run for weeks and weeks. So that's why you need to let my method play out, because we'll be holding trades for sometimes 2 and 3 months once the markets become good. And you won't see profits until they're closed out. You know what I mean? So you really need to let that run. But look, it's just a shit range, guys. Look, stinking. Here's a gopping range here, and all this is just a range within a range. It's all it is. There's no trades I'd be taking there. GBP USD. It's a hard one because pound is really strong right now, and USD is starting to, excuse me, show us some good strength. But yeah, I just don't know if I would take it. We'd need to see some real solid strength from USD for me to be happy to take a buy from here. It's a hard one. It is a hard decision. I don't just jump in things right away. I do sit and think about them. The best trade would be if it breaks above here. You get a little kind of candle break up, back, retest, reject, and then enter around this zone here. That would be your safest entry once you've got the confirmation that it's actually going to go in your favor, right? NZD USD, again, it would be sells. You just need it to come back up, retest here, and then go. What's this? NZD CAD. Both of them are weak currencies. That's why you're getting this range here. That's why it's came down, and now you're getting this range. Why that pushed down was probably because, remember, we had oil going quite well at this same time period. So when oil is strong, pardon me, it gives the Canadian currency this kind of false strength, even though the economy is really bad. NZD CHF. yeah, it would be sells. It'd be sells all day long, but you just can't sell from here. There's absolutely no value whatsoever to sell from here. You really need to sell from up here again, or up here, or even better still, the higher the better. So again, there's no trades. USD CAD. Let's have a look. That's a decent trade. I mean, look, it is just in a fucking stinking range, but you can see it has played out. Bang in the zone, small blue candle, large white, boom, comes back, retest, rejects, and goes. Nice. But yeah, it would have been down here and go. And look, there's a prime example of you don't get the retest, right? You really want to see that break above, retest and reject this zone, and then go. And like I said, the other one, you might not get it sometimes. And you can see here, I'll zoom in for you, sorry. We didn't get that pullback, you see. Normally it breaks above here, retest, rejects this zone over here, bang, and then goes. And you just didn't get it, and that's fine. So if you didn't enter, there's nothing wrong with that. You just move on to the next trade, right? USD Japanese yen is broken here, so you would then just move that to the next area. You wouldn't be entering upon the retest and reject of that because it's pretty shit. You'd be moving it up to the next area of order block, area value, blah blah blah, and you're really waiting to see what it does here. So if you were going to sell it, you'd be selling it from here now because it's broken this. You really want to be buying it. Fundamentally, you really want to be buying it. I can't cover news because this isn't recording our Discord with the news. Or maybe I'll cover news on here. Give me a second. USD CHF, look. Again, guys, there's nothing. We need it to, a shit trade would be come in here, retest, reject, and go, which we might take. The best trade is actually when it comes up here, retest, rejects, and goes. That's the best trade that we'd be looking to enter. But we're a long way away from it. So again, there's no trade. You know what I mean? It's just really poor right now. So even though this isn't a currency pair, we're potentially looking to see the dollar come up here, retest, reject, and melt. Or I personally think the dollar's quite strong right now. It's going to break through, retest, reject. Oh, excuse me. And then crack on and pull up. That's probably what we're going to see. We've got a high chance of seeing that. So we'd be then looking at dollar strength, and then we'd be looking at then buying, USD Japanese yen, USD CAD, blah, blah, blah. Oil, yeah. Again, I'm not going to cover it again. We've covered that fucking 100 times. There's no trades as of yet. To buy oil, we need to see Israel hit Iran. There physically needs to be news that Israel has bombed Iran. It may come in soon because there's news on our newsfeed coming in that Hezbollah has bombed Israel today. So we may get these retaliations coming back soon, and they may hit Iran. Okay. Gold has been flying. You guys have caught that way. Lee, gold is Lee's bag. I fucking hate gold, and I ain't touching it unless it comes back to one of my areas, right? So I'll leave you and Lee with that. Silver has been doing well. I am kicking myself a little bit in silver, just to be honest, because I did already have this marked up. When the markets were only here, I had this marked up. I think I was away doing YouTube when this panned out, and I even had this second one marked up, and I didn't fucking enter again. Again, I just missed it. It's not that I didn't take it. I just fucking missed it. And by the time I remembered, oh, fuck, let's check silver, because silver is actually a new pair for me. It's not a pair that I trade often, so I sometimes forget to check it. And by the time I did check it, it already ran. So my bad on that one. We could have had some really good gains on that. That's my fault for missing it, so I do apologise. Copper, yeah, it still isn't quite there yet. Again, copper's brand new for me. I mean, I've literally had it on the charts for like 2 weeks, but it all moves the same, right? Look, small blue candle, large engulfing, comes back, retest, rejects, and away it goes. It's all the same shit. Well, I need it to come back in here, retest this, and then go. Indices, I'm not going to bore you because they're just... Right, sorry. Didn't mean that. Remove. Yeah, indices are always buys. But we really... what's the... Let me have a look at the D30 because I was looking at that earlier. Yeah, you don't really want to be entering sells here because they're just always buys. I want to see it come down here, retest, reject, and then go. Maybe even here. It's probably more likely. Retest, reject here, and then go. Bitcoin, nope. Ethereum, nope. Solana, Lee's selling GJ now, lads, if any of you are interested. Scalp. It's a scalp trade. This is all just bollocks. Yep, so there's nothing, lads. Nothing I will be taking right now. Let's have a quick look at the news. Economic news. Okay, Kat. Let's see what it's saying. Okay. So what have we had so far this week? I really hate looking at trading economics. I do prefer looking at Forex Factory. It's just so much clearer, right? But you get so much more information on here. That's the thing. I don't like looking at this. It's just like kind of confusing. Maybe I just need to keep playing around with it more, until it becomes kind of normal. But let's see what we've got. Anything important? Public sector net borrowing. Borrowing is down. So that's not good, because when people are borrowing less, it means they're spending less, right? What's this? Is it only Tuesday today? Fucking hell it is. So we don't even have much news to go by, guys. It's only bloody Tuesday. So yeah, there's nothing that's really kicked off. Richmond manufacturing, we want to see that. What else do we want to see? The LEI, there's something called the LEI. I forgot what it bloody stands for. Leading Economic Index, I think it is. Those numbers have come in quite low. Let me see if it's here, and I'll run by it for you. It might not be here. Let me just check. Nah. Okay, it's not here, but I've seen it on another forum. The Leading Economic Index. Those numbers have come in low, which comes out before like all these kind of US numbers here. So if that comes in low, it's a kind of little head start that we're kind of anticipating all these other US numbers to then come in low, right? Doesn't mean they will, but it's a kind of little, maybe these will come in low. So, all this kind of stuff. So it gives you a kind of little head start of how the rest of the week may pan out. Now, if all the numbers do continuously come in low, there's a good chance that the US will cut rates, given some weakness to the dollar, blah, blah, blah. And if they don't, they may not cut rates, because you just can't cut rates into a strong economy, because it just makes inflation fly, right? You have to remember, excuse me, when they make decisions quickly and you're like, oh my God, these numbers have only just come out weak and these guys have already cut rates right away. How the hell are they making these decisions so quickly? You have to remember, these people are getting this information. They know what these numbers are going to be last month and potentially even the month before, right? They're well in the know. When we're getting this information, we're the fucking peasants. We're the bottom feeders that are just share it with them now. When Powell gets up and speaks and he's like, well, we're not quite sure if we're ready to cut rates yet. He knows if he's cutting rates next month or not. He already fucking knows, but they're just playing the game. They already have the economic data of how it's going to look, as things progress. So that's why they're able to make decisions, and we're like, oh my God, what a shock. It's not a shock for these people. They already know all this information. They just haven't released it to us yet, that's all. We've got some decent news that we want to have a look at later on, and see what numbers we're dealing with for various economies. But things are pretty much as it stands. There's nothing really new here, guys. So, we'll wrap it up there. 33 minutes, that's fine. If you guys on the Discord have got any questions, please feel free to fire away. If not, I shall love you and leave you. And whenever a trade comes up, I will take it and I will give you it. But as I've just physically shown you on the charts, there is absolutely fuck all for me to trade right now, based on my strategy. If I was to trade, I would just be gambling your money, and I'm not going to fucking do that, because that means I'm gambling my own money as well, and I ain't doing it. But yeah, anything else, fire away, lads. If not, then I shall see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, shaggers. Stop the video.